Hello, this is Brian from Global Strength, and today I'm going to show you in this video the body metrics section of the app where you can check in body weight and body fat measurements. So let's open up the app, and you will see the floating button for body metrics. Let's click that. My data, there's lots of data here. But as you start tracking, once you've gone past the week, week's worth of data for check-in, you'll start to see the blue line there. The blue line actually starts populating, which is the average, and it's the exponentially weighted moving average of your body weight. And if you're interested in statistics and what that means, go look up what exponentially weighted moving averages, but essentially it puts more onus on the as the slider moves across in time, in time here, it puts more weight on the more recent values than the previous values. So it's a little bit more accurate than just your traditional standard average. So across the top of this section of the app, you'll see number of days. So you can come in and change that. So let's say I wanted to look at my last 60 days. To make that actually go pull the data, you do have to hit refresh. So clicking refresh will go pull the last 60 days. I can increase that to 90. And I can also drop this down to say the last 2 weeks, so 14. And as you see, every time the black line is my actual data entries and the blue line is the average. So I'll put that back to 30. Now I'm going to jump down. I'll talk about the check-in in a little bit, but there's a toggle graph button, and so it's on weight at the moment. I can toggle that to body fat, and I can toggle that to maintenance calories. So as you check in, and as you're tracking your day-to-day calories, the app will look at your previous week average actual calories that you've consumed, that you've tracked, and it'll weigh that against how your body responded to that. So did your weight go up? Did it go down? And by how much? And by understanding how much weight you either put on or removed, and how much you ate, you can determine your maintenance calories, and then those are logged. So every time you log, those will be logged. So now let's talk about the logging. So the check-in button, this is where you would do your daily check-in. So let's select the date, and you can put in your weight. Body fat, as mentioned before, is optional, but using this will allow you to use lean body mass and get a little bit better measurements. Now at the very bottom, you'll see the calculated maintenance for the day. Probably is a good idea to make sure that before you click that check-in button, that the app has actually calculated the maintenance, so that you're not storing a null value, but not a huge deal, just something to be cognizant of. So I don't need to check in today, but if I were, I would just click check in, and that would store the data into the database. Looking down a little further, so just below the toggle graph button, you'll see how many days you have left before the next evaluation. And when it reevaluates, it'll look at your goal. So in this situation, my goal is to put on 0.9 pounds per week, and it will look at your where you actually are representative to that goal. So I'm at about 0.8, so I'm pretty close. It's going to only make very minor adjustments in this case. Assuming in 5 days my numbers are still roughly here. And now let's look down. So you'll see in the table there's weight, and it'll show your current weight, and your current weight that you just checked in. your trend, which is the blue line. Then there's estimated maintenance, and that's actually the blue line from this chart. So the last data entry point from here. So these are all based on averages. So below weight, the next row in the table, we've got goal. Now this will show you your goal that you established when you created your nutrition plan. So as you saw before, I set my goal to bulk, and I set the value to about 1. It was actually 0.9 in this case. And then the last two, you'll see, your last 7 days, how much your weight has deviated, and the entire duration of the plot. So it says last 30 here, but if I change that to 60, and then I'm going to refresh, you'll see that changes to show my last 60 days and how much things have changed. And you'll see in the very bottom, there's a little database icon. You can click that and it'll actually show you the data entries that are all pulled to make the charts up above. And you can delete any one of those. So if for some reason there's erroneous data, this would be a good place to delete that. And you can come in and check in. I can check in for today, but I can also retroactively go back in time and check in as well. So when you first create the app, this might be useful for you to go back and add, the last 7 days or so of data, just so that the app has a good starting point. Not mandatory, but it'll get you a little bit quicker responses. So that is it.